Aaron and I are moving. We have been staying with some amazing friends of ours for literally 2 months now because there was really bad flooding at Mom's house. We live in the upstairs, Mom lives in the downstairs, so Mom moved upstairs and they did a bunch of stuff downstairs to stop it from flooding. Now we're moving back and we are just moving, just us. Aaron and I are the movers. Our truck is the moving vehicle and we're doing these manual trips. So, as you might imagine, it's challenging to get along when you're moving. We are no different. We have had some little love spats, if you will.
Love spats.
Yeah, because we definitely love each other, but when it comes to moving, you encounter these moments where you don't agree on how something should be done, and it's your stuff. So there's kind of a... what is it called? Like,
friction?
Yeah, there's friction, but what is it when the higher stakes? That's it. When it's like high stakes. So the... oh, Aaron, your phone is...
We've been, over the years, been stripping down the amount of stuff that we move and our life, our stuff that we have to have in order to live. We've stripped it down to a more and more compact state. And we've done that because we have always had this idea of living, tiny home living, and living smaller. And it's made our moving a little easier. And then in this particular situation, we haven't had a lot to bring in order to live over at our friend's house. And which made things a little bit easier for us when we moved back because we can do it all with the truck.
So Aaron's issue with the move was that he feels like I micromanage him. So
I feel like it because it's a fact. That's exactly what happens. She wants things done her way when she does it, and she wants things done her way when I do it.
When we do it.
When I'm involved or not involved, it's her way or the highway. And then in the highway, she still wants it done her way. So it just kind of... it's okay sometimes. Sometimes it's a little overdoing it.
Well, as a spouse, I do actually want my marriage to last a long time, and I want my hubby to feel loved. And frankly, most of the time that we have arguments, it's because I'm mad about something. So this is a rare moment where Aaron is mad enough that we actually come to an argument place. So
rarely it's me being mad, and therefore that's why we have an argument. Generally, it's her being mad, and that's why we have an argument. I'm a lot more laid back and just kind of like, well, I can chill on this thing or chill on that. But it's one of the management styles I don't think anyone in their life likes, and that's being micromanaged. I'm not really doing anything but doing whatever I'm being told to do. There's no autonomy at all. I'm not, it's none of my decision. It's whoever's micromanaging your decision, They're telling you to do every last inch of what your job's doing in the moment. And it's aggravating because I think Esther's very good at certain types of packing. I think she's not very good at certain other types of packing. And she wants me to put as many straps as I could possibly fit on anything I do. And I don't like to do that. I wanted to put one strap in one area, and then she didn't like that. She wanted something else to be covered by the strap, so I moved that strap. And when I moved that strap, the thing that I had to strap on originally falls out of the damn truck. While we're driving.
So he's really mad, and I think it's hilarious because I told him I thought something wasn't going to go right.
And then she caused it not to go right. And then she doesn't see that part. She just sees the fact that I was right. Nothing went right except for the fact that I did what she told me to do.
I thought it was funny that we made it 60 seconds down the road and stuff's flying out the back. So.
One thing, and the one thing that the strap was on when I did it.
Okay. So
she had me move the strap onto something I thought wasn't going to move at all.
Here is the first strap that we used that Aaron thought was enough. We ended up adding a second one because this beanbag was hanging out the back after maybe 1 minute of driving down the road.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That beanbag was hanging off the back.
Okay, yeah, we
Not
have
this
two.
one. This one felt fine.
Okay.
The one that she threw on top here that I originally put the strap over, But then she's like, no, this is kind of wobbly.
Yeah, because
and then
this
she wanted me to put it across that. So I put it across that instead of this, and then that one flipped out.
I wanted to get a second.
Because I did run it through the thing, so we never lost anything.
You did. There are handles on these, so he did run it through this. Oh, it's running through it right now. Yeah, so he had it running through the handle, so when it flew out the back of the truck, it was still hanging out, and we didn't actually lose it. I suggested that we use a second strap because I was really concerned that look at this. Woo, it's filled with foam.
Hold on, it's only doing that now because I undid the strap.
Well, before there was a strap, baby, it was doing that.
I'm saying, yeah, look at it's doing now, and it's like I undid the strap.
Okay, I'm sorry. You really felt like just,
it would have been
I don't know, inertia? What is the actual
friction.
scientific,
Friction.
You thought friction would hold it in place?
Yep.
I did not have that much faith, and since I was the one who packed the car, I thought, how about if I just offer to help you put a second strap? It wouldn't be a problem, but Senor here did not want my opinion.
She wanted to micromanage me, and she wanted to redo everything I did.
Baby.
That's not a no, she did actually want to redo everything I did.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't lose our stuff, because how terrible would that be if this had flown out and hurt somebody, love?
None of that was done.
Okay. Do you think I like to control other people?
Oh gosh.
No, I like to control other people.
So my wife she's not a traditional control freak. She controls certain people and certain situations. She controls the people she loves the most, and it's usually generally me.
It's just you.
Yeah. And it's generally me.
Like that kids I let run, I get more criticism for not being structured than I do for
so she doesn't watch the kids.
And
she doesn't control her family members outside the immediate family. Like she won't bother to stick up for herself when her family's running her over, but she'll run me over 10 times out of 10, which is weird because I'm a strong alpha male. So I kind of I have to grin and bear it in a moment, and it's really, I don't know. Most of the time it's okay. It's just I don't like to be micromanaged, and I don't like to be micromanaged and it fails because I was micromanaged.
Well, I think where we have our issue.
She doesn't listen to me. That's the biggest issue.
I feel like the biggest problem we have is that I think in general, if you want work to be done, you do it yourself. Like, I don't approach Aaron even to do things that traditionally men would do, right? Like, if I can physically lift something myself, if I can rearrange my furniture or whatever.
I don't know why that's a problem.
Well, no, I'm just saying for other people who might be like, I don't think I'm terribly controlling. I try to control my own space without involving other people. And unfortunately, because Aaron is my spouse, he sometimes steps in an arena where I actually need to manipulate what he's doing in order to finish what I'm doing. And those are times that we have problems, because I think to myself, well, I do need Aaron's help to load up the truck. But after that, I'd love it if he just got in the truck and then I just put the straps on, because I really care about everything that's in there. And so I hate needing your help, because I know if I ask your help, I'm also getting your ideas.
Doesn't sound controlling at all. Yeah, so
But I do love you. It's like, this sounds so terrible, but I'm like, what do you do when you're loading up your precious belongings and you genuinely think you need 2 straps, and your husband says, no, I'm not putting a second strap on it. I'll put 1 strap and I'll compromise by moving the strap from the item you think needs most to be strapped to the item that I think needs most to be strapped. Now, I thought both items needed to be strapped. So we came to the compromise of, we'll move the 1 strap. So then we kind of had the argument, because after he moved the 1 strap, then the item that he did not have secured, that he would have preferred securing, went flying out the back.
Which I did not think hers would have ever flown out the back. That's my personal opinion.
Yes. So that's where you have this problem. That's where the argument is. Like, he wanted to secure a beanbag chair. I wanted to secure a giant crate that was barely under the lip of the truck.
No,
I thought that's going to fly.
It was more than halfway, and in order
maybe,
for that to
maybe
and
it was,
and there's friction on it, and it's sitting on another crate just like it. So it's, there's a lot
locking mechanism a little. I suggested that we use a second strap because I was really concerned that look at this. Woo, it's filled with foam.
Hold on, it's only doing that now because I undid the strap.
Well, before there was a strap, baby, it was doing that.
I'm saying, yeah, look at it's doing now, and it's like I undid the strap.
Okay, I'm sorry. You really felt like just,
it would have been
I don't know, inertia? What is the actual
friction.
scientific,
Friction.
You thought friction would hold it in place?
Yep.
I did not have that much faith.
So even though you could push it around, in order for it to flip, we would have to be flipping as a truck. You know, that's the only way I think it would fall out. That's why I thought, yeah, it's fine. I'll just put, strap over these bean bags. I put it through the bean bag loop. So even when it did fall out of the truck, it didn't make it onto the pavement.
It flew out, but we did have and that I think is the reason why this wasn't a huge all-out, like really big fight. There are handles on these, so he did run it through this. Oh, it's running through it right now. Yeah, so he had it running through the handle, so when it flew out the back of the truck, it was still hanging out, and we didn't actually lose it. Even though it fell out, it was secured, so it was just dangling from the back of the truck through like a little loop. So it wasn't 100% a loss. But it was a very immediate issue. Well, no, I had to pull off the road as soon as we got on the road. I saw something fly out, and I'm like looking for.
You said it wasn't 100% a loss. It wasn't a loss at all. Technically, it's just some time.
What I'm saying is, if we hadn't secured that, it would have gone. But here's my thing, though, Aaron. Still, seriously, why were you so not okay with putting 2 straps on it? I offered to help. We have the straps. It's not even like, it was just me saying, and I tried to say nicely, hey, baby, I really would prefer if we put 2 straps on this. And you were really angry with me. You were like, you don't trust me. And I thought, okay, because I want my husband to know I trust him, I'm not going to push this. So we had a couple back and forth, and then I got in the car, and we drove off with the 1 strap, even though wifey was driving the truck.
I like how this is framed. This is framed as she didn't trust me, and therefore it went wrong. Or she trusted me, and therefore it went wrong. No, not the fact that she micromanaged me, and therefore it went wrong. And that's the problem, I guess, is if you frame it a certain way, it looks like, well, hell, you should just put 2 straps on. Well, it didn't need 2 straps. It needed 1. Over the thing I told you originally put it on. And then when I compromised and moved it over your thing, I still ran it through just in case the loop on the thing. And then sure enough, that fell out. So then when we came back out, we decided to put 2 straps in. Because at this point, in order to catch both of what she wanted and I wanted in, yes, it probably could have been done first like that, but the straps do take some time to unravel, unwrap, restrap. Like, it's not a nothing amount of energy and time.
Yeah, you always go for whatever the least friction is. Like, what's the word? What's the way that they say that? Like, you try to take the path of least resistance. That's it.
Right.
So Aaron is like, whatever conserves the most amount of energy, I want to do that. And he likes to find the quickest, best way to something, the fastest. And we rarely have issues like this. I mean, I genuinely, generally trust you. So I don't know how you can be married to someone if you really don't trust their...
She trusts me most of the time, but there's a frequent thing, and an underlying thing in our relationship where if she has a different opinion than mine, she doesn't prioritize my opinion as anything other than just noise. That's the honest opinion. Like, a lot of times she and I 100% agree on things, and it makes it a little easier because she and I are oddly very much on board with almost every decision we both make, which is really lucky, I guess, because that's not the way most human beings work.
Yeah, I do feel like we obviously believe that God orchestrates things, and so we are thankful that God brought us together, and then we also think it's very lucky that we get along. I don't look at other couples and go, oh, it's your fault that you have problems. For Aaron and I, we just genuinely agree a lot of the time.
Yeah, so
and it makes it...
Yeah, it's because of that, because we agree so often, when we don't agree, it's kind of shocking to both of us in the moment.
It's shocking and upsetting. It's like we're walking along and then I'm like, oh, 2 straps. And you're like, no, 1 strap. I'm like, 1 strap? How are we going to cover the bin? And you're like, we're not going to. And I'm like, whoa, I am not driving this truck without a strap over my bin. And then Aaron is like, you don't trust that the bin's not going to fall out? I'm like, it's not worth the risk to me. Like, maybe it would fall out, maybe it wouldn't, but the risk of having that fall all over the road and lose all of our stuff, I'm like, it's just not worth the risk when I have a strap. Just put a strap. So we really disagreed. I love you, but the thing is,
the second half of this is after we got the 2 straps out, she constantly tried to tell me where to put the straps.
Okay, that was the other part. Is that
and then it's like I'm getting micromanaged now, and the solution to the micromanaged problem essentially is how I felt. So of course I was frustrated. That's when I started getting really frustrated with her. It's like I felt like you won't stop micromanaging me, and you haven't realized that that's a problem. Like, I have a pretty good idea how to do this stuff. I've been doing it for many years. I have a background in science and in physics. I understand that, putting something under its pivot point, right, or under its center of gravity, and you have a better chance of things being fine and stable. That you only have to put things on top, if you think that that's going to be, there's going to be some extra issue. And I thought it was going to be fine. And now I had 2 straps on. I'm like, well, I need to put these straps on in such a way where I don't break stuff, but I still put pressure on all the things that I need to put pressure on. And even that started getting micromanaged. And that's when I kind of let her know in that moment that I was frustrated.
Well, this brings me to a place that is really important, and that is, how do you go through life with another person, loving them in spite of things they do that negatively affect you? Like, I think, okay, we're fine, right? We've never had an instance where I trusted you, you did something, and I ended up hurt because of it. I can't think of a thing like that, but I would imagine that would be really hard in a relationship if you were like, generally I trust my spouse made this decision, and we all failed because of it. I don't know. I can't even go with an
we're
example,
going to fail. I mean, that's the biggest deal, is that we're going to fail, and we should be able to allow each other to do that in a semi-safe space. It is what it is.
Like, the moral of this to me is that my relationship with Aaron is worth more to me than that bin. It's worth more to me than the shock and horror of losing the bin. It's worth more than the trauma of having things spill all over the road and trying to clean it up. Like, actually, Aaron's more important to me than that. And when I'm not in the moment, I can think clearly. I can say, I love you so much, and you're human, so you're going to make mistakes, and I would rather risk those mistakes than risk you not feeling loved and supported by me. But it's really hard in the moment to do that.
Yeah, and I think I was also frustrated because I felt like I was being micromanaged. And then I felt like I was being blamed for a error that happened because I felt like I was being micromanaged. Like it was like I was basically instructed to do something. She knows she was compromising to some degree, but I felt like it was putting the one thing I thought was not in danger, and the thing I thought wasn't in danger, protecting it. And therefore, because it failed, I am now being blamed for the result of the micromanaged action.
Well, and also to kind of try and relive that moment, I thought it was hilarious. For whatever reason, because Aaron was so mad, it actually made me laugh. Because he never gets mad. And
that always helps. That always helps. You laugh at your very angry spouse.
Don't do that.
It calms things down right away.
Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. If you see your spouse is upset, try to stifle the laughter, because it definitely made it worse.
I will tell you, it made me a little more angry, but it definitely did. I know not to escalate from there, because you could blow something out of proportion quickly. And even
there was no "we're going to get divorced" talk.
No.
There wasn't any like "I hate you."
No, it's
which sometimes, if you're a couple that doesn't argue very much, I think sometimes you can have an argument and it escalates very quickly. Like, what happened? Like, we haven't had an argument in a long time.
Yeah.
You think everything is fine, and then your significant other does something, or you do something to upset them, and then they're very upset, and you're like, "What happened to you? Everything was fine, and now you're mad."
Yep.
But, okay, so to wrap this up,
Yep.
I really would like to say that in hindsight, I want to learn from this experience and trust you more, and really ask God to help me to trust you, to just say, you know what, I'm going to get in the car, you can put straps on this any way you'd like, because when we put that second strap on, I was offering to, like, climb into the truck and latch it, and Aaron said it didn't need to be latched there, and I thought, here again, I don't agree, and I'm willing to do the work, so what's the problem? Whether or not that seems like a problem to me, if my honey bun thinks it's not a good thing, and I keep pushing it, whether or not I think it's important, I need to let it go. Like, I need to be able to say, oh, and you're saying to me right now, stop. I need to hear it and stop. And what would you say to people if they are dealing with someone that they think micromanages them and doesn't trust them?
You got to remind them about, like, the fact that no one likes that. If you go to work and you have a micromanager, it literally makes the workplace a hostile environment quickly, because then you start to loathe going to work, because you know that person's going to tell you every inch of your job to do. It takes away your autonomy. It takes away your will, essentially, when someone micromanages you. So understand that, and then understand that that your spouse needs to feel safe around you.
Yeah.
And if they feel like you're going to micromanage them whenever they make a decision, you're taking away their will and their autonomy. It really hurts them. And even if they're right, like if that's fine, let the person make mistakes sometimes, because if they feel like they've made mistakes, but at least they got a chance to do something they wanted to do in the moment, then they'll learn from those mistakes. You can't learn from something if someone's just taking away your will and your choice every second. That's not a free exchange of a relationship that it should be. So I believe that that's something that you need to stress, honestly, and have that talk.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Hearing you talk makes me think of how much it's kind of a fear of mine that you have to be perfect in order to be loved.
Yes, not true.
Yeah, this notion that yeah, so it's very important to let the person you love be themselves, and then actually it's almost more powerful if they fail at something and you're there to say, it's okay. It's okay, I love you. You made a mistake, whatever, because we all are going to make mistakes. So, yeah, actually everybody wants to have the proof in the relationship that they're loved, even if they're not perfect.
Yep.
So that's a big deal.
Allow them to make mistakes, as long as it's not going to kill you or your kids.
Yeah.
Allow them to make mistakes and give them suggestions, but back off if they're strongly going one direction.
Yeah.
Do your very best to explain your situation without making them feel like they have no choice.
Yeah. So with that said, we actually still have more stuff to move. We are going to head over to our friend's house. It's a nice day. I'm going to let Erin strap up our belongings.
Or I can let her learn how to strap. Either way.
Oh, well. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have all of our stuff moved back over today, and yeah, good stuff. Off we go. Bye, guys. This is the last load of all of our stuff, and I totally trust you to strap it down, love.
You say it almost like you're hoping nothing goes right.
No, I'm sure it's going to go great.
Totally trust you, the word trust I'm using.
Those crickets are so loud, I almost couldn't hear you talking about how much I trust you.